About 2018, 2019, I hit a wall physically. I was exhausted. I didn't even want to get out of bed, which is so not like me. I'm usually a morning person. I didn't really want to do anything. I lived in Bend, Oregon. I was in the beautiful place. I had three small children. My husband traveled a lot for work. We had, I think, a dog or two at that point. I was teaching daily method and yoga, and I was training daily method teachers. I was getting up at 4:45 and doing CrossFit because I wanted the challenge, but then I wasn't really going to bed early enough, and sometimes because of the stress, I'd be up at 3:30, so definitely not enough sleep. Anyway, I'm sure you can relate. I could go on, but I started just feeling like, ugh. I went to doctors, I researched, I could never find out why. Eating better, working out more, I was definitely doing that. Getting outside, all the things we hear, but none of it really truly worked. I even went to a naturopath and she said to eat more meat, take a ton of supplements, and none of that worked either. And I gave up and was like, I don't know, maybe this is just my new normal. But as you guys know, I love nutrition. And I'm a type of person that doesn't really give up if I'm really stubborn. And years went by of just being exhausted. And now my hair is falling out. We've moved to Arizona, so definitely getting a little bit more sun, but my hair is thinning. I'm still exhausted. I've tried every diet, the keto, the vegan, more meat, for the iron. Nothing worked. And it took a long time to get there, but I finally figured out why a lot of that was happening. And this isn't one of those standard iron tests. Actually, due to my red hair, I have a genetic mutation. Red hair is actually a genetic mutation, but I had another genetic mutation that I didn't even store iron. So even if I was on my cycle or I wasn't actively bleeding, I was still really low in iron. Like my body just wasn't holding on to it. And until I realized that and learned that about myself, I didn't know how much iron I actually needed. And meat every day, although, well, I don't like eating the same thing every day. Sometimes I do, but I don't know why. Why is dinner different? Anyway, it just wasn't sticking. And so I actually needed an iron supplement. And until I figured that out, there was no way that my body was able to change without that. So that was number one. Number two, I was not sleeping because of the iron deficiency. I was going to bed tired and wired. They were saying words like adrenal fatigue, adrenal exhaustion. At the time, I didn't know what that meant. But basically, I was burning out. I had three small kids, like I said. My husband was gone a lot. I was homeschooling. I was working. I was doing it all. And I never gave myself the credit to actually be okay with slowing down, right? Maybe sounds familiar, right? Allowing ourselves to rest is sometimes not available, especially if you have small kids, but also unheard of. I mean, who actually rests in this world right now? I'm going to be really gender biased, but especially women. And I think that's turning, thank goodness, but I wasn't giving myself the rest I truly needed. So that's not taking days off of my workout. That's pushing my workout way too hard for me personally, my body. Everybody's different. It's doing things and eating things. And at the time I was drinking alcohol still, and all of that just compounded. And I also realized that in nutrition, I, at the time, was not eating enough for my body. Probably sounds familiar again, right? Women, we are told in our culture to be small, so eat small, and therefore not eat enough. And while our bodies are these amazing miracles, it sounds cheesy, but for what it is, they are. They just continually astound me on what they're actually doing when I'm not even thinking about it. And so if I'm not giving it the right nutrients or enough nutrients, again, all of these things are just compounding. And it took me and years of figuring out these root causes to get back to a point of normalcy, of feeling good, right? That simple, just feeling good. And while I will say now going through perimenopause every day, I wake up and I feel good, but some days are not as good as others. And that's okay. But from that point years ago, I am so much better. And I'm telling you all of this, A, so you get to know me a little bit, but also without knowing that root cause, with just taking what I saw on Instagram or what doctors were telling me or what wellness professionals were telling me, none of that actually fixed the problem. And you might be feeling that too, right? Perimenopause, thyroid issues, aches and pains that no one can really explain to you. You might be feeling like defeated, depressed, anxious, and no one's able to tell you the root cause. So the reframe here is really about your belief versus the truth. The belief is what we've been told from Instagram, from doctors, from the wellness world. The truth is what's actually going on in your body. And if you're like me and feeling like I did, like nothing's explaining it, I've tried things, I'm doing all the right things, and none of it's worked, none of it's changed how I felt, or maybe it's moved the needle a little bit, but not enough. I created a checklist, and it's a free checklist, and you can go into my website. I'll put links below. You can go into my Instagram bio, wherever you're seeing this, and you can find the link, download it, totally free. It's got 3 sections. It's got about 19 questions, but really they're just check boxes, really short. And I'll give you an idea of maybe some things that might be going on why you're so tired. And I think we have to give ourselves credit and give yourself credit for A, listening to this podcast, B, and then taking action, right? Celebrate that because it is not normal, no matter what we're told, to do a million things like what we're supposed to do. It's just, we just can't do it all. And no wonder we're all exhausted. No wonder most of us don't feel good. And instead of accepting that and being okay with that normal, I really hope that you feel empowered, maybe listening to this or at some point in your health and wellness journey, to listen to your truth. And that's going to be different than my truth, than person's next to you truth, than somebody else's truth. We are all different. And that's what I really love about finding the root cause, because each of those root causes are different for each of us. And until we know what those root causes are, we can never truly address them. We can just put like frosting on a cupcake, right? We can put the frosting on top. So maybe it looks okay from the outside, but inside you might still feel like crap. It's a journey. I think my last thing I want to leave you with is it's a journey. And I'm not giving you any pressure in your own time or when you feel like you can't take it anymore is when you will probably come and do this checklist, right? Or if you're down the rabbit hole of nutrition exercise like I did, then maybe you will too. Just know I'm here for you. I'd love to hear in the comments if you're feeling similar things or if you've been through similar things. I think we really need to hear from one another right now as you're navigating all these things, as we all are. Anyway, this is the Feel Good Everyday podcast. My name's Annie Vinya. And again, the links are below, downloading the checklist. And yeah, let me know how you feel. All right, take care.